What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. CDK Boxing. Let's talk boxing. Well. Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach kicked off their press conference yesterday. I believe they was in New York. Don't get me wrong. Don't give me the line. I was at work and I was able to catch a lot of it this morning. And I really got to, man, listen, one thing about Tank, once he does a press conference, he's going to give you a whole lot to talk about. And first and foremost, let's talk about what he had to say about return. Gervonta Tank Davis told the reporters yesterday that this would be his last fight, but he also said something kind of interesting. He said this would be his last fight, but he would still be up for open discussion about, a rematch with Ryan Garcia and even a fight with Devin Haney. Okay, that sounded good. But another thing that I heard Tank say, they asked him about Shakur Stevenson, and let me get into that right there. They asked him about fighting Shakur Stevenson, and one of the things he said was the young guy, Keyshawn Davis, is looking better than Shakur Stevenson. What has Shakur Stevenson done for boxing? When I hear a person talk like this, listen, when somebody else tells you that, that usually means they know that person is good and they really don't want to fight that person. Uh, you keep saying, what has Shakur Stevenson done for boxing? Tank, what has Rolly Romero done for boxing? What has Mario Barrio done for boxing? What has Frank Martin done for boxing? The list goes on, Tank. You haven't faced anybody the caliber of Shakur Stevenson. Uh, I'm tired of hearing those type of excuses, and I hate when a fighter does that, man. Instead of uplifting the fighter and making the fight big, you downplay the fight. So at the end of the day, anybody that doesn't know Shakur Stevenson, but they're a Gervonta Tank Davis fan, they're looking at it like as if Shakur Stevenson is not even worthy of facing someone like Gervonta Tank Davis. When we all know that's not true. We know Stevenson is a special talent, and I definitely want to see that fight. I would love to see Shakur and Tank, but I don't know if we get that fight or not. And I'm starting to feel like this right here, and I know a lot of you Tank fans not gonna like this, but I feel like Tank is running out of opponents that he wants to face, and he's leaning towards retirement because guess what? Who you gonna face next? You can't keep giving us these fights with smaller fighters. Eventually, people are gonna want to see you fight somebody that we want to see you fight. I would love to see Gervonta Tank Davis and Keyshawn Davis. I would love to see him and Shakur Stevenson. I would love to see him and Teofimo Lopez. But I don't think that Tank really has any interest in taking these fights. And I don't believe Tank is scared. But what I do believe, Tank knows that these will be fights that it's going to be a 50-50 fight. I definitely believe with Shakur Stevenson, he feels like there's a 50-50 fight. And what else could it be? You're talking about return. You're talking about legacy. Uh, Tank Davis, if he does retire after this fight, he is not a Hall of Famer. There's no way possible that he's a Hall of Famer. And if you think he's a Hall of Famer and he retires, you know what I'm saying, after this fight, then you're crazy and you're just a Gervonta Tank Davis fan. Now, don't get me wrong. Listen, I'm a fan of Gervonta Tank Davis. I've been saying it for a long time now. I think Tank is a special fighter. But Floyd Mayweather, who is one of the best ever, who calls himself TBE, I want y'all to pay close attention to something. Floyd Mayweather kind of guided Tank's career. But do you know that with Camille Moden, he's allowed this young kid, man, to take on a lot harder competition, pause, than he did Gervonta at the same time in their career. Man, Camille Moden, you know what I'm saying, is fighting somebody coming up to 35-1. And that's another thing. We heard Tank speak on Camille Moden not making weight. I don't know the real details behind it, but from what I heard and from what Camille Moden's team has said, is Nevada, they lost his blood work. So he had already been told there wouldn't be a fight. Let's get to that. Camille Moden had already been told there wouldn't be a fight, so he felt like he didn't have to make weight. But the young guy already has a fight coming up, and he's facing an opponent. Think about this now. It's 35-1. So that tells you how Floyd was moving him and how he was moving Tank. Camille Moden is moving, man, at a different type of speed from what you seen Tank move at. And Floyd maybe knew something that we didn't know. So, like I said, I think that Floyd definitely believes in Camille Moden. And I believe he believed in Tank too. But I think he definitely believes that Tank is going, Camille Moden's going to be a much better fighter than Tank. And I believe that as well. Now, I'm starting to truly believe that Camille Moden is a special talent. Uh, The 14 pounds at first, man, I really thought the young kid, man, was like, oh man, I didn't know what to think. You know what I'm saying? But I just felt like he wasn't training or whatever, or he wasn't taking it serious. But to come to find out, I heard Danny Garcia said this was his promotional company, his thing or fight or whatever it was. He said that they had lost his blood work or there was miscommunication, so that's why the fight didn't take place. You know what I'm saying? Camille Moten also said that's why he didn't make weight. There was no reason for him to make weight. Now, like I said, he has a fight coming up this month against an opponent that's 35-1. I look for Camille Moten to be a world champion, man, in another year, maybe 6, 7 months. His next fight is gonna be big, man. He gets past his next test, we're gonna see what Camille Moten is really made of, and I'm ready to see it. But like I said, we've heard Gervonta Tank Davis say he's retiring. A lot of people don't want to hear this, but I just truly feel like even the problem that he has with Turkey Alley Sheep, I think Tank realizes if you go over there and get some of that turkey money, you're gonna have to earn it. You're gonna have to earn that money. You're not gonna get an easy test. You're not gonna be able to go and pick from the litter. No. When you get on Turkey Alley Sheep card, you're gonna be fighting the best of the best. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you think Tank's a Hall of Famer right now, he's not. If he retires right now, he spoke on Mike Tyson's legacy, and he said Mike Tyson hurt his legacy by fighting Jake Paul. Listen, Mike Tyson made $20 million. I'm not mad at Mike. I'm a Iron Mike Tyson fan. He was my favorite fighter. Uh, I'm not mad about that. I don't have a problem with it, man. Mike Tyson feeding his family. But the thing is, Mike Tyson got a legacy. Does Gervonta Tank Davis really have a true boxing legacy right now at this moment if he retires? I mean, he got what? He's fighting Lamont Roach. He got Frank Martin. He got Pedraza. He got Rolly Romero. I'm just going down the list. But I think and truly believe in order for Tank to get into the Hall of Fame, in order for us to say, man, he as good as we think he is, he got to get that Shakur Stevenson on his list. Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney. Keyshawn Davis is younger. I like Keyshawn as a fighter. I think Keyshawn is special, but I don't know if he's truly ready for a Gervonta Tank Davis fight just yet. And that's a big question. But I still want to see the fight. The same way Floyd Schofield has stepped up and challenged Shakur, and Shakur took that challenge. I want to see Tank do the same. I want somebody to call Tank out, one of these younger fighters, and try to call his bluff, and Tank say, all right, send him a contract. Because we all know the contract is coming from Tank. He is the A side. And I don't think Shakur, you know what I'm saying? I heard Stephen Espinosa try to say that they was offering Shakur a one fight deal, but he wanted, I guess, a 3 or 4 fight deal. So that's why the fight didn't go come through with him and Tank. Shakur Stevenson on Twitter laughed about that and said that basically Stephen Espinosa was lying. You know, saying that he's working for Tank in so many words. Listen, I don't care what it takes. I need to see Tank in there with one of those guys. And people be thinking I'm hating on Tank. No, I'm not hating on Tank. I think Tank is better than all those guys. I keep telling y'all this. But somewhere along the way, there's a lack of confidence from someone, whether it's Tank's trainer or whether it's Tank. I believe, man, me looking at the eye test, that Tank can beat any one of those guys. I do believe that between him and Shakur Stevenson, I've said how I seen the fight playing out. People said Shakur beat him on points. I don't think so. And I'm gonna tell you why, and I hate to say it, but in boxing, we know that if you are the more popular guy, more than likely, man, the judges are gonna lean your way. That's just how it go in boxing. I don't think they would let Shakur run for 12 rounds and give him a decision against Tank. He's gonna have to engage, and that's where a chance of him getting knocked out will take place. And I can see Tank stopping Shakur in the later rounds. That's just how I see it playing out. See, a lot of people when they listen to me talk, see, you can like a guy and still critique a guy at the same time. That's the problem with a lot of these channels right now. If they like somebody or they're pro Devin Haney or pro Gervonta Tank Davis, man, they hate everybody else. It don't have to be like that. I tell y'all all the time, man. I come from an era where, man, you could I like Tommy Hearns. I like Marvelous Hagler. I like Sugar Ray Leonard. I like Roberto Duran, man. I like Aaron Pryor. I come from that era where you could like more than one boxer. These days, they want you to pick and they want you to stay on that side of the fence. This is boxing, man. You can have more than one fighter and you don't have to hate on another fighter. So when I talk about Tank, just know that I believe Tank is that special. And another thing Tank said, I don't know what it is, mental health issues, man. Mental health is something that's very serious. I deal with mental health issues myself. I paid attention to Tank yesterday. I don't know if Tank's suffering from depression or what, as people are trying to critique and break him down. I did see it seems like he was a little disengaged. It seemed like the Tank wasn't really into what they were talking about. But once Tank, you know what I'm saying, once Lamont Roach did challenge Tank, that's when you hear Tank start talking. You know what I'm saying? I think Tank does have mental health issues. And I didn't see Calvin there. And we've heard a lot of reports that Tank maybe let Calvin go. I highly doubt that. I think Calvin is like a father to the Tank. I couldn't see him letting him go. Now, I was looking for the bootlicker, is what I call him, Coach Kenny. Coach Kenny, I really don't like Coach Kenny. Man, BVO Boxing, my brother's in the building. Salute my brother. Talking about your favorite fighter, Gervonta Tank Davis. You understand what I'm saying? And how do you feel about what he had to say about retiring yesterday? That's definitely what I'm talking about. I just feel like it's too early in his career to retire. Uh, if I keep saying if he retires tomorrow, he's not a Hall of Famer. He hasn't done enough in the sport of boxing, and that's not hate. That's just keeping it real. And I think that Tank is trying to walk away because he feels like he's being pushed into a corner. I think Tank is like me. You understand what I'm saying? I do why he, you said, had Roach shook. I didn't see that. And I'm always tell the truth. I seen a very confident young man. Lamont Roach believes in his skills. He's going to bed, but I didn't see nobody. I didn't see him being shook. See, one thing about two men, one man have to be scared, and you might still get beat. Let me tell you something. I've been in the boxing ring. I've looked across at somebody and not being scared and still got beat. You know what I'm saying? Bring BBO on. I definitely want to bring my brother up. If I can pull him up, I don't know if he's at work or what. You know what I'm saying? But BBO, no, definitely he's always welcome. That's my brother. That's how we do. I would love to bring BBO up so we could talk and discuss it. You know what I'm saying? So I could go ahead and really, really go in this morning. But like BBO know, man, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to Tank, when it comes to Lamont Roach, I tell you all the time, ain't no fighter scared of no other fighter. That's why I'm really kind of upset with the Boots in this situation because I know that Boots is a special talent, but I also believe that he's being, outside the boxing ring where you don't control a lot of things, when you're not the boss. A lot of people are messing up his career, and that's what's going on with Boots. I feel like that a lot of people are telling him, "No, don't go to." Because we hear Tim Zoo come out and say, "What? Boots turned down that fight." We're hearing that he turned down the fight with Virgil Ortiz. And I'm starting to feel like that Boots is listening to somebody tell him stay at 147. Why? There ain't nothing at 147 for Boots. Man, Boots can go if it's about legacy. If it's truly about legacy, Manny Pacquiao was never undisputed at 147. I told y'all that. Floyd Mayweather was never undisputed at 147. But did it really matter? Because when we talk about these guys, those two gentlemen, we hold them in high regard. And that's all that matters. If it's about legacy, could you imagine right now if Boots had Tim Zoo and Virgil Ortiz on his record? How good that would look. And just think about the next fights coming up after that. Sky's the limit. You know, if he goes to 154, say he would have went to 154 and beat both of those guys. Then you're talking about the king of 154, maybe getting a fight with him as he makes his return, Jermell Charlo. And I'm still going to say this. Jermell Charlo, salute, man, my guy, prize fighter in the building. What's good? Jermell Charlo is still the king of 154 until somebody takes that from him. You know what I'm saying? We know what they done to him. They took the titles from him. And that's what I hate about boxing, man. That's why I tell you, man, when you look at the sport, whether you want to believe it or not, man, Canelo Alvarez does what he wants to do, moves how he wants to move, fights who he wants to fight, and they're not going to take the title from him. But as soon as Jermell Charlo didn't do what they wanted, man, they stripped that man so fast. Hey, I'm telling you, they stripped Jermell Charlo faster than a stripper in a club to see $100 bill on the floor. That's how fast they stripped that man. I couldn't believe it, man. And it really made me feel some type of way about the business of boxing. And that's what I'm tired of. Now, if y'all looking to make a good bet coming up on a fight, take Tyson Fury. Y'all know I do a lot of betting, and I truly believe in the rematch coming up, the Tyson Fury is gonna handle business, and I believe Tyson Fury gonna win that fight. I feel like Tyson Fury, man, we know how he gets in the ring. He got overconfidence, and against Usyk, whether you like it or not, you can't get overconfidence, man. That guy's good. He can box. He brings a lot to the table. But I've seen a lot of flaws, and I watched that fight. I've watched it again. I watched that fight like 5 times, and I truly believe that Tyson Fury, he might just stop Usyk. I don't know how y'all feel about it. Say you like Fury too, man. For real, Jeffrey. Hey, I think Fury gonna take care of business, man. I think it will be a trilogy. And if you go back and really look at that Daniel fight, Dubois or Dubose, however y'all want to pronounce it, man, he lost that fight. I've watched that fight many of times. It was not a low blow. I watched that shot over and over. It was not a low blow. I seen that guy, man, he was down. But you know, hey, that's how it go. But we also got a big fight coming up. Daniel got another big fight. That's why I keep telling y'all, stop hating on Turkey Al-Sheikh. Everybody in here right now is real true boxing fans, right? If you're a fan of boxing, you don't care where the fights are being held at. You just want to see the fights. When people keep talking about he's taking the fights to Saudi Arabia, man, listen, I'm 51 years old. It just sounds crazy to me that people are worrying about where the fights are being held at. How many people actually going to see the fight is going to sit right down and say, hey, yeah, I'm flying out here to Vegas. I'm flying here. Sometimes you're not going to go see every fight. I've been to a few fights in my life, but more than likely, I'm watching it on TV. So why do I care where it's being held at? I just want to see the fight. What's happening is, I'm going to tell you the truth. Once Tank Davis decided he didn't like Turkey, next thing you know, his fans don't like Turkey. This is how Tank Davis fans move, man, and it's weird. And most of the time, it's grown men that's older than Tank falling behind Tank. Have y'all ever thought about that? That's how they moving, man. Nobody likes Turkey because Turkey Al-Sheikh is trying to make boxing better and bring it back to being what it once was, man. Where the best fight the best. Tank is never gonna go over there and fight with Turkey. Because Turkey not gonna allow you to get in there with man Mississippi Joe. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna allow that. Or cab driver Teddy. You're not gonna be able to get away with that. You're gonna have to fight somebody. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be getting in the ring with cab driver Teddy. You're gonna have to take on you know what I'm saying, a tough challenge to get your $20 million. And that's what I'm really excited about what Turkey doing, man. If y'all seen that card that's coming up in February, man, that's something different, man. And that was another thing I keep telling y'all about the Virgil Ortiz situation. Do y'all see how quick Virgil Ortiz signed to fight somebody else? I don't understand how that move was made. Like usually, say for instance, Jerron Boots Ennis turned down the offer because he said, well, I wanted a 147, you wanted a 154. Okay, there's usually a counter offer. There was never a counter offer. I don't know what Eddie Hearn is doing, but I don't like the way he is handling Boots' career. Eddie Hearn has already placed Connor Bean in front of Boots, a steroid cheat. He is put in front of Boots to face Mario Barrios. What happened to unifying the titles? Unless you plan on or you think that, hey, Connor Bean is going to beat Mario Barrios, it's going to be easier for me to make the Boots and Connor Bean fight. Then that could be true. Maybe he's moving like that. Maybe that's what he thinks going to happen. He thinks Connor Bean, which I don't know. I'm not, listen, Connor Bean is okay, but since he came out steroids, I see a different fighter. I'm not gonna lie to you. He don't look like that same fighter from when he was cheating. You said, yeah, I agree with that, Jeffrey. Hearn trying to make the Bean versus Booth fight. But do you think that Mario Barrios, do you think Bean beats Barrios? That's the question. Have y'all been paying attention to the way that he looks right now? I really want to know, is anybody paying attention to this guy, man? He don't look the same. And Mario Barrios, you know what I'm saying? He didn't look all that hot in his last fight. He went tooth and nails. And I'm telling you, man, for real talk. Uh, yeah. I feel like he ain't looking hot in his last fight. But I'm not sold on Conor Bean either. I do think maybe Conor Bean can get past Barrios, and that might be what Eddie Hearn is looking at. I feel like that he thinks, hey man, both of them, have the belts. It'll be a big fight, and they can make a lot of money, and Eddie can make a lot of money. That's what it boils down to. I just hope that that's the message he's giving Boots. Hey man, Mario's not gonna fight you, but he will take his Bean fight. Bean gonna take care of business. So guess what? Bean will fight you, so we can start unifying these titles. Now the situation, man, I'm gonna keep saying this over and over. I don't care what Brian Norman Sr. has to say. I'm gonna ask y'all this. If I made $100,000, if I told y'all, everybody in here, I made $100,000, man, last week, but I just turned down 1.2 or 2.1. You know what I'm saying? What's the reason? Well, they want me to go over here to about 100 miles down the road to make this 2.1 or 1.2. Y'all gonna say what? I'm crazy. Yeah, man. Hey, Brian Norman Sr. is my friend too. I'm friend with every black man. But one thing about me, I'm gonna tell the truth. I don't care about friendship. I tell my brother if he wrong. That's the thing about me. I never put friendship over respect and keeping it real. You have to always keep it real. If somebody's your friend, you got to keep it real with them. Just like you keep it real with me, BVO, and I keep it real with you. That's what we supposed to do when we talking to Brian Norman. Tell him the truth. Like that right there, whether you know it or not, I ain't got no problem. I really truly believe Boots beats Brian Norman Jr. You know what I'm saying? Just keeping it real. And I think what Brian is trying to do for his son is he's gonna pile up, 3 or 4 fights, make that bread, and then take a payout with Boots. You know what I'm saying? Basically, he's selling Boots the belt. Let's keep it real. He's selling Boots the belt. And if we get an opportunity to see Kern in that ring with any one of these guys from America, y'all gonna realize something. Y'all gonna realize just how good Kern really is. Just like y'all finna give Terrence Bud Crawford his credit after what's his name gets beat. You know what I'm saying? Nah, Brian Rubb, I'm keeping it real, man. I told you, man, I got to keep it real, BVO. I got to break it down and give it to the people the way they need to hear it. A lot of this stuff is watered down. A lot of people, man, coming on these channels, man, and they you know what I'm saying? They showing love and giving love, but they only giving it to they fighters. Brian Norman Jr. don't stop Boots no day of the week, and I would bet $5,000 on that. 5,000. I watched them. There, he don't bring nothing to the table that makes me think he stopped Boots. I don't even think Brian Norman beats Kern or Speed Ellis, just to keep it real with you. You know what I'm saying? They're just being real. I've watched the young man. The young man has talent, but if you pay real close attention, man, he ain't bringing nothing to the table like that. He ain't. You know what I'm saying? And that's what. See, we ain't behind the scenes. We ain't at these spawn matches. We don't see what these other guys get to see. We wasn't there when they said Boots dog walked him in spawn. But there's a lot of people saying it. You understand? I know it's spawn. I spar, but sometimes spawn can turn into a real fight. So that's what they're looking at. And sometimes when you spar somebody, let me tell you something. They get the best of you, man. It's in the back of your mind. It's in the back of your coach mind. He was there too, and they start playing tricks on you. No, man, we only take your fight right now. So you start looking for outs and reasons why you didn't take that type of money when it's $900,000 more than what you made before. You want to be a millionaire. Well, guess what? 1.2 when you break it down and get you a lot closer to being a millionaire than $100,000 with. See, people can say what they want to say all day, but common sense is common sense. Something my boss tell me all the time, make it make sense. So you make that make sense. If you can make that make sense, man, you're a bad man. I turned down 1.2 million, 2.1, whatever it was, just to make $100,000. No, it don't make sense. I don't care what we fighting at. You know what I'm saying? If you're the A side, you think anybody that turned down going to Baltimore to fight Tank for a nice amount of money? No, they're not. They're gonna go to Baltimore and face Tank. It doesn't matter where you at. If you believe in your skills and you confidence in who you are, man, I'll fight you in a trash can if I feel like I can whoop you. It don't really matter where we fight at. Because at the end of the day, man, skills pay the bills. And if people are so confident that Boots ain't what he say he is, it's time to get in the ring with him. It's time to put up and shut up. Because 147 seems like it's the only people he want to fight. He don't want to fight nobody at 154. So anybody at 147 that believes that he's not what he say he is, this is the time. Everybody feel like he got exposed. There's another thing I'm gonna tell y'all. Boots got exposed, right? But the same people that say Boots got exposed is the same people that won't tell you the truth about how Virgil Ortiz looked in his last fight. See, those are the type of people we are dealing with these days, folks. And the balance is not there, man. It's not there. Virgil Ortiz didn't look that good in his last fight. The man got dropped twice. But you think I'm gonna say Virgil Ortiz ain't a good fighter? No, I still believe Virgil Ortiz is a good fighter. Somebody tell me how a guy won every round, but had a competitive fight, is looked at as being exposed. But Virgil Ortiz got knocked down twice, and he's a warrior. A warrior. Man, this is how they do us, man. Y'all start paying attention to how they do us. And you know what I mean when I say us? There's a different criteria for black fighters. I hate to say it. There's a different criteria. No disrespect to nobody. But there is a different criteria for being a black fighter. They hold you to a higher regard in a different level. And that's what we got to start focusing on, man, and paying attention to. And that's why, man, it's never that Manny Pacquiao, I tell people all the time, my favorite fighter. But I'm tired of going from channel to channel and seeing, man, this like divide that we have amongst each other when it comes to talking about our own people when it comes to these fights, man. It's terrible, man. We got people ready to go to war with each other. We got bloggers and content creators ready to fight behind these fighters, man. And it's funny to me. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. And it really ain't worth it. That's why I said I started leaning back. I started back doing my lives. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing like being able to talk to the people and not really having to argue with nobody or argue your point or whatever, because your opinion is your opinion no matter what. No matter how nobody feels about it, everybody's opinion should be respected. And that's just how I feel. And I've been guilty of arguing with people, you know what I'm saying, about stuff I shouldn't have been arguing about and not respecting others' opinions. But we know everybody's passionate about boxing. If you love boxing, you're gonna be very passionate about it. And that's just how I am. I do want to see what's next for Boots. I think Boots, man, right now has put himself in a hole where he gotta prove himself. Boots can't fight nobody. No, there ain't gonna be no more cab driver teddies. None of that. Boots gotta fight, man, somebody of either one of the champions. He gotta fight one of them, or he has to make a. I'm talking about go up and fight somebody at 154, because Boots got a lot to prove, and you will lose fans when people start to doubt you. And right now, a lot of people are doubting Boots. I hate to say that, man. I think Boots is very special. I think Boots is a great talent. I believe, man, that he beats anybody at 147. Simple as that. I think 154 is a division where there is a lot of competition, and he would have some great fights at 154. There will be some 50-50 fights. But at 147, I think everything is 60-40 or under for Boots. I just feel like that. I don't think nobody at 147 beats him. I don't care what they tell y'all. They know, you know what I'm saying? One thing about a coach, he can come on here all day and tell you everything in the world. But he know for real whether or not his fighter can get in there and handle somebody. So that's how I'm looking at it. Just like BVO favorite fighter, Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez has fell off the map, man. Teofimo Lopez has fell off the map. That main BVO favorite fighter, well, it ain't no more. But you know, we heard Gervonta Tank Davis say he gonna slap Teofimo Lopez. Well, I truly hope he does slap him. The man says some disrespectful stuff about you. We know he called the man a monkey. I wouldn't mind seeing you slap him. But I don't think Tank does that. But guess what you can do, Tank? You can get him in the ring. Man, you can get him in the ring and put that beating on him. But that's about confidence. Does Tank really want those type of fights, man? That's why I keep going back to. A lot of y'all don't want to hear it, but I don't think Tank wants what he calls competition or what we call competition. And I believe Tank can beat any one of them, like I keep saying. But does Tank got time? Does he really want to lace his boots up? Does he want to dig deep? That's what y'all got to start asking y'allself. What is it about Tank that keeps Tank away from these guys? He'll say Shakur Stevenson ain't done nothing for boxing, or he ain't done anything in the sport of boxing. He's done more than Rolly, like I said earlier. He's done more than Mario Barrio. He's done more than anybody Tank can fought. But that ain't good enough for Tank. Why is that? Why is it that Shakur has done more than everybody else Tank has faced, but when he says his name, he ain't done enough? See, y'all got to start looking at it like that and keeping it real, man. You got to start asking yourself, when you say Shakur is boring, okay, maybe he is boring. But there's something about that boring style that keeps a whole lot of people away from him. And Floyd Schofield, I promise y'all, is going to find out why that boring style has kept people out of the ring with Shakur Stevenson. That's how I feel about it. Shakur Stevenson finna go in there as another fight, mark it down, put it on your card, put it on your what's the name, on your bet slip. Shakur Stevenson gonna go in there. I see maybe a round or two of Floyd Schofield, you know what I'm saying, being a little difficult. After that is a wash. I see it, like I said, 10-2, 9-3, easy work. 10-2, 9-3, easy work. That's just how I feel about it, man. It's not gonna be a hard day at the office for Shakur Stevenson. When we know Floyd Schofield kind of has that style of who he has, man, sort of like a Sean Porter style, but I think he's a lot less a fighter. I think Sean Porter has a better IQ than what Floyd Schofield has. I hate to say it. Floyd Schofield is a decent young fighter, but man, there's a lot of guys. Keyshawn Davis right now beats Floyd Schofield easily. Abdullah Mason beats Floyd Schofield. Abdullah Mason, to me, man, out of the young guys, is going to be very, very special. That young man right there, man, is going to be something to deal with. And we seen him have adversity in his last fight. We seen him go down. We seen him get back up, and we seen him handle business, man. You can't ask for nothing better than that, man. There ain't nothing like going through something and getting up and being victorious, man. You ever been knocked down, got back up, man? You know what I'm saying? Brush your shoulders off and went to war. Well, that's what we seen Abdullah Mason do. Abdullah Mason went down, got back up, brushed his shoulders off, and he went to war. What more can you ask for? I just can't wait to see, man. Mama Schofield finna be real mad. Mama Schofield been doing a lot of talking for her son. But guess what? Mama Schofield finna find out real quick there's levels to it. You understand? There's levels to boxing. Man, listen, I ain't gonna keep y'all up. My videos every day. I try to do them 30 minutes, but every day, man, I'm coming. Just like you know what I'm saying, Shakur, Tank, and everybody else gonna go to war. I'm going to war. BBO, my brother, man, everybody in here, Jerry, man, Pride, anybody, man, we're gonna keep doing this thing, man. Nothing but love, respect, and peace. And guess what? From now on, no more cab drivers. We're gonna start having a day called Cab Drivers Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and we're gonna talk about these cab drivers that some of these boxers are facing. I'm out.